I think my bottom line on this, I don't sense that Donald Trump really wants to go into war with Iran. If history has anything to tell us, is back in 2015 when a deal was reached, it took 20 months of intense negotiations, 20 months and including many scientists from and technical advisors from both sides together with the diplomats to reach a deal. So clearly we just don't have the volume of people involved for us to expect that something major was in the works. What could have happened is that both sides might, and I have to emphasize might because really we have no idea, they've agreed upon what the negotiations will be about in the next few rounds to come. The Iranian side has insisted on nuclear issues to be discussed only. The American side, as we know, wants to talk about the missiles and other sort of files. Whether there's been an agreement on this or not remains to be seen. But if that is the case, that in itself is pretty significant. I can only assume this is very clearly choreographed. I mean, the diplomacy, certainly on the part of the Iranians, and they say so loudly, they are coordinating the diplomatic approach with showing military might, if you will, and the same is true, obviously, on the part of the United States. That's why you have a second aircraft carrier moving towards the region. I think my bottom line on this, I don't sense that Donald Trump really wants to go into war with Iran, and I think the Iranians do not underestimate the might of the United States military. They want to avoid war. But let me also say this. Look, the next round could happen in the next few weeks' time. Much could happen in a few weeks. You know, Iran right now is a tinderbox. Iranian population, it could be out in the streets tonight, tomorrow, next week. This is a regime that is under massive domestic pressure. And should there be another mass protest in Iran, I have no idea if that would be the case. All I can tell you is you're looking at a very angry Iranian population. If they come back in the streets again, that's the sort of wild card that could suddenly make Donald Trump switch gears and actually start thinking of using the US military assets in the region, not for just focused on the nuclear issues or the missile issue, but something much grander that looks like a political project, that looks like, you know, a political change in Iran. We're not there yet, but what I'm saying is it's a window of opportunity here, potentially for the United States, and I'm not surprised that the American president and his team are keeping the diplomatic and the military option both open. No, absolutely. I think you put it very well. I mean, look, the Gulf leadership, collectively, the Gulf Cooperation Council leadership from Oman all the way up to Kuwait, these are countries that are respected, certainly in this White House and in previous American administrations. So they can pick up the phone, call the American president, but they can also pick up the phone, call the Iranians, because, you know, that's one of the things that can happen that might change everything, a change in political discourse. The fact that they're still not sitting in the same room, the Iranians and the Americans, in itself is kind of telling. Imagine when they sat down and talked without mediators, and maybe the ball could move forward faster. And again, to get to that place, the Gulf countries for sure could play a very important role.